And so when I hear people are trading crypto, I always think, oof, I don't think I could trade crypto. I mean, there's some patterns that I feel like I see, but I give my closest friends the advice of just like, you got to think long term. You can't think about where this is going to be in 5 weeks or 5 months. Where is it going to be in 5 years? I mean, frankly, I'd like to be able to say, like, think about where it's going to be in 50 years.
You heard it there from the man himself, guys. Stop trying to trade this market. Now, if you're making money, that's great. I know some people can trade, make money, but it's stressful and it's volatile and it can be really challenging and really difficult. The safest bet, especially with something like this, is to bet on the long term, like he just said. Look at it on a longer time scale, bigger time frame. We know what we're investing in. We're investing in these future technologies and how they're going to change the world. And that doesn't happen overnight. That takes a lot of time. And yeah, they've been working on it for a while now. The foundations have been being laid. But like Brad even said there, don't think about 5 weeks or 5 months, think more 5 years. And then he said even, more than that. I would rather say even 50 years. I don't know. 50 years is a lot. I hope it doesn't take that long because then I'm going to be old and dying anyway. So I think 50 years is a little extreme. But this isn't something that we're putting money into expecting it to just change our lives like that. This is just a bet on our financial future and sacrificing some of the instant gratification that we could have today or instant money to use on this or that or whatnot, and making a bet on these technologies that by the time 5-10 years go by, and I'm not 25, I'm 30, 35, these things will be significantly more valuable than they are now, these assets. And they'll set me up to have a much more secure and stable future. So for the time being, right, it's not about trading these things and getting in and out and then getting mad that you sold and then it kept going up, or that you didn't sell and it went down, and it's just too much. You have to keep it simple. Often, I think the most successful investors are the ones with the most patience, the ones that do the least, right? If you just bought the stock market and held like 20 years ago, you've outperformed like probably 99.9% of people. Because most people trade themselves out and they screw it all up because they're doing too much. For example, when the internet first started, right? And you had all these stocks like Amazon in the early days, they had crazy runs up and then crazy moves down. Now, if you listen to your emotions and you tried to trade, you might have gotten wrecked. But if you bought Amazon when it came out early on, like first 5 years of development, whatever, 10 years, and you just held until now, 20 years later or so, 25 years later, if you put a good chunk of money in, you'd have a nice chunk of change right now, because you saw the technology, you had the foresight to understand where it's headed in the future, and you didn't do too much. You just were like, okay, I see it, I'm gonna buy it, let it sit, hold. And I believe it's gonna be the same for these crypto assets, for XRP, for HBAR, for Algorand, for XDC, for Casper, for Quant. They're going to be things. It takes time, guys. Yes, we're in a bull cycle right now, and hopefully we see some upward movement so we can then get some profit out after we get like a lot of euphoria and a lot of insane price action, because we do want to get some profit. It would be nice to get that initial investment back out and some extra money that gives you the freedom to be a bit more mobile and do more on your day-to-day life. So hopefully that's coming. But we got to keep that frame and keep that mindset of, okay, we're in this for the long run. It's not something to bank on to like give us financial freedom tomorrow or in the next few months or even next year or two. If that comes about, that's great. But you got to have that long-term investor mindset. And then on your day-to-day, still focus on how you can make more money or what you can work on personally to learn a new skill, build a new business, build another source of income, or just go live life if you have the means to do that as well. All of this is a long-term bet, and that's all that this video is really here for. I think this interview that came out with Brad is great, and I'm like halfway through it, and I saw this clip, and I just thought I would throw it in here at the start and just kind of talk about it. Like he also mentioned, the US dollar is just, it's one of the strongest currencies in the world, and it has just completely gone down the drain the past 50 years.
We, unfortunately, as citizens of the world, can't trust our governments to manage monetary supply in a long-term responsible way. There's a lot of evidence to support that sentence, right? The US dollar, arguably the best managed currency in the world, has been devalued through inflation by, over 90% in the last 50 years.
Is it 90% in the last 50 years?
If you do that, like just an adjusted, what was it? $100,000
purchasing power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible.
So, do we think that's going to get better or worse?
Wow. With the printing press.
I think it's probably going to get worse.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And that's the best managed currency.
So it's really stupid to just hold on to US dollars when all it's doing is slowly deteriorating your purchasing power and your wealth over time. And I think that's a great way to look at it, is I'm investing in these things that I think are going to gain value over time instead of letting it sit in dollars, which I know is going to lose value over time. It's a risk, but I think it's more risky to just hold a dollar that I know is going to make me more poor as the years go by. So, a bit of a shorter video today, but I hope you enjoyed. I think it was some good real talk from Brad, and I'm going to finish listening to that interview now. And if you did enjoy, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like on the video. And subscribe to the channel. Almost that 1,000 subscriber mark. To celebrate, I'm going to either do a live stream or a video premiere. I'm going to do 1,000 push-ups to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. So that should be fun. And I hope to have you all tuning in. So thank you guys. Have a beautiful day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.
It's inevitable. And it's inevitable that, right now we're talking about is 2.5 trillion. Look, do I think this is an easy 10x over the next 5 to 10 years? Yeah, no problem. That doesn't freak me out when I say that at all.
Like, that's conservative. If you
that feels safe. I mean, to the earlier conversation about asymmetric returns, is there a chance that it's 100x in that time frame? It feels aggressive, but I don't know.